Oh. That's a good one, wasn't it? Very good one. Namaste. Welcome to Yoga with Eco Warriors Body and Soul. So before we get started, just make sure you have a couple of things, your mat, and they're not essential but quite handy, a strap or something you can improvise with, a block and a blanket. If you want any music throughout the session, then I suggest maybe going to grab some of your favourite music, or if you like the music that I play in class, you can download one of my playlists from Spotify. Once you've got all that stuff, just coming down to sit on your mat. Maybe sitting on a block, maybe you want to sit cross-legged, or coming into this position. Just finding a seated position that works well for you. And then once we're sitting down on our mat, we're going to gently start to close the eyes if we haven't already. And just start to really ground through the sit bones. Start to lengthen through the spine. Relax the shoulders from our ears and lift up the crown of the head. Start to bring our awareness to our breath, so not changing the breath in any way, but just observing the breath. So whether that be maybe focusing on the top of the lip, feeling the air enter and exit through the nostrils, or maybe you're going to notice the rising and falling of the belly or the chest. So just bringing the awareness to what works for you, but not trying to control the breath, just noticing. And if the mind starts to wander, just acknowledge this and gently start to bring the awareness back to the breath. Again, not controlling the breath in any way, but just observing each inhale and exhale. And then just starting to take a little bit more control over the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. As you inhale, feeling the belly rise. And as you exhale, feeling the belly fall. Just deepening and lengthening the breath. Being aware of that grounding sensation as you exhale all the way down into the earth. And today really keeping with this sense of grounding throughout our practice. So anytime the mind starts to wander, just bringing it back to that intention of grounding. So remembering, I am grounded. So keeping the eyes closed, we're going to start to rotate the shoulders backwards. Just releasing any tension in the shoulders and just being aware of the breath and the movement. And then changing direction. And then coming back to center. Keeping the eyes closed, we're going to take an inhale and reach the chest out in front. As we exhale, we're going to round the back, draw the palms together, draw the chin down towards our chest. Inhaling, lifting the chest, maybe gazing up. And then exhale, round the back. Just doing a few rounds of these with your own breath. Just really being aware of how the movement syncs with our breath. Grounding through the sit bones. And then slowly releasing the hands down to the mat. We're going to place our left hand by our left thigh. Inhale the right arm up and exhale, take a side bend. Really grounding the right hip into the mat as we maybe gaze towards the right fingertips. Feeling that stretch down the side of the body. And inhale up, exhale down. Inhale the left hand up, stretch up nice and tall, and exhale to the right. Fingertips are reaching. Grounding the left hip into the mat. And then inhale up, exhale down. So maybe if we need to, maybe we have tight hips, we can come to sit on the edge of a block or a blanket. And we're going to join the soles of the feet together. And we're just going to allow the knees to flop out to the side. Taking the hands to the feet, we're going to inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to come into a forward bend. So really not going to our edge here, just keeping it nice and relaxed. Just feeling a little stretch into the hips and into the inner thighs. Our shoulders are relaxed. Breathing through the nose. And then slowly inhaling up and exhale, release. Coming around into a tabletop position, really spreading our fingers on the mat and just checking our shoulders, elbows and wrists are in line. Really grounding the tops of the feet into the mat. Our hips are facing forward and we're going to bring some awareness into our core as we take our right hand up and take a twist. If we can, we're going to gaze up to that extended hand or gaze down to the mat. Breathing through the nose. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Thread the right arm through to the left, coming to rest on your right shoulder. The left hand stretches out in front, and maybe we can come up onto our fingertips. Really becoming aware of our stretch. Just noticing where we're feeling the stretch. And then slowly coming back up to our tabletop position. Finding that alignment again, so fingers spread. Pressing into the tops of the feet. Awareness on our core as we take a twist, taking the left hand up. Maybe gazing up. Breathing. Deep inhale through the nose Exhale, coming through to rest on the left shoulder. Right hand comes in front, maybe coming up onto our fingertips. And then coming back to tabletop position, fingers nice and spread. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, tuck the toes, tuck the chin, and lift to your downward facing dog. So as we're not warmed up here, just keeping a soft bend in the knee and in the elbows, and taking any movements that you need. Gazing in between the feet or up towards the belly button. We're going to take our right leg off the mat, coming into three-legged dog. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, draw the knee towards the forehead, engaging our core, rounding at the spine. Inhaling, coming back. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhaling, coming back. Exhale in. Inhaling back to three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up. Exhale, coming forward, knee towards the forehead, squeezing the core, really rounding at the spine. Inhaling back. Exhale in. Inhaling back. And then one more time coming forward. Inhaling back. And exhale down. Inhale, look forward. Slowly make our way to the front of our mat. With our toes spread, really grounding into the mat and a slight bend in our knees. We're just going to allow ourselves to come into ragdoll pose, so take the elbows and just allow that upper body to melt down as we really ground through the lower half of the body. Take a deep inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. And then next inhale through the nose, you bring the arms up overhead. And join them together in prayer. And exhale into a forward bend. Inhale, step the right leg back into a lunge. Exhale into a plank position. Deep inhale. Exhale, drop the knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step the right foot forward. Exhale, left foot forward, forward bend. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale into prayer. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, step the left leg back. Exhale to plank. Deep inhale. Exhale, drop the knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step the left foot forward. Exhale, right foot forward, forward bend. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale into prayer. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale, step the right leg back. Exhale to plank. Deep inhale. As we exhale, drop the knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step the left foot forward. Exhale, right left foot forward. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale into prayer. Deep inhale, exhale down. Inhale, step the left leg back. Exhale to plank. Deep inhale. As we exhale, drop the knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step the left foot forward. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale into prayer. Just taking a few breaths here in and out through the nose. Starting to spread the toes into the mat. And really just feeling that sense of grounding into the mat. And then slowly releasing the hands, coming to the front of the mat. We're going to start to spread our left toes into the mat, really ground through that standing leg. As we take our right leg either below or above the knee. We're going to press the foot into the standing leg. Just allow the knee to come out to the right. Find that spot in front for your balance and then join the hands together in prayer. Maybe you're going to stay here. Or maybe you want to grow the tree, sending the hands up overhead. Together in prayer or apart. Shoulders are relaxing down the back. I'm trying to still the breath, still the mind. And then bringing the hands back to heart center. And release. Spreading our right toes on the mat, grounding into the right foot. And then taking the left foot into the same position, either below or above the knee, whatever we did on the other side. Pressing the left foot into the standing right leg. Hips are square on. Hands together in prayer. Breathing, maybe growing that tree. Reaching up through the fingers as we ground through the toes. And then bringing the hands back down to heart center. And release. Coming to the front of the mat, maybe taking a block in front of you so you can easily reach the block. We're going to take a step back with our left foot. So a nice wide stance. And we're going to take a bend in our right leg so that the knee comes over the ankle, but we can still see our toes. I'm going to try to get the thigh parallel to the mat. We're pushing back on the knife edge of the left foot. Shoulders in line with our hips. We're going to bring our hands to a T shape, warrior two. Really broadening through our collarbones, relaxing our shoulders as we really ground that lower part of the body and lift up with the upper part of the body. Breathing through the nose. Then we're going to inhale the right hand up with the palm facing us, left hand down the back of the left leg, reverse warrior. We're reaching up through the fingertips, core is engaged, and we still have a bend in that right leg. Maybe staying here if we want to go a bit further into a back bend. Just being aware of our own body here. Gazing up to the right hand, breathing. Deep inhale through the nose. As we exhale, we're going to bring the right arm to the right thigh. We're going to inhale the left hand up, stretch up nice and tall, and then bring the palm face down, fingertips reaching, creating that side angle pose down the left side. Maybe the right arm stays where it is on the thigh, or maybe you want to take a block to the outside of the right foot, pressing into the block, or coming directly down onto the mat. Really rotating the chest so we're getting that nice opening and stretch down the left side. Breathing. And then pressing into the feet, we're going to inhale up, warrior two, and exhale, release. Coming to the front of your mat again, we're going to take a step back with our right foot. So a nice wide stance again, heels roughly in line. Bend the left knee this time, keeping the thigh parallel to the mat. Grounding our back foot, coming into warrior two. So really being aware that we're not reaching forward, we're sinking down into our warrior. Our core is engaged, shoulders are relaxing. Breathing through the nose, just really feeling that strength in warrior two. And then keep your awareness on your core, engage the core as we inhale the left hand right up, right hand down the back of the right leg. Maybe staying here, gazing up towards the fingertips, or coming a little bit further into reverse warrior. There's still a bend in the left knee. Core is strong. And then inhale the left hand to the left thigh, or down to your block. Inhale the right arm up, stretch up nice and tall, and exhale, side angle posture. Feeling that stretch down the right side of the body. Grounding the back edge of our right foot. Breathing through the nose. And then press into the feet as you inhale up and exhale down. Coming to the front of the mat, take a step back with the left foot. This time we're on the toes and the hips are facing forward. We're going to bend the right knee again, so we're coming into a lunge. So we're sinking that left hip down into the mat, keeping our quad strong, and then inhale the hands up. Heart is lifting, and breathing there through the nose. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale, fold, being careful of the knees, staying strong in the quad, and just allow the head and the neck to relax. Breathing, pressing into that standing foot. And then inhaling up. Exhale, release. Stepping forward on the mat, we're going to take a step back with the right foot. Bending the left leg, we're coming into our high lunge. Sinking low. Breathing. Deep inhale, exhale, interlock the fingers behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. Breathing there. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale, fold. Inhaling up and exhale, release. Bringing the feet hip distance apart, really spreading the toes. We're going to take an inhale and raise our hands up, finding that space and length in the body. As we exhale, we're going to bend from our hips. We're going to keep a slight bend in the knees. We're going to take the elbows and we're going to come back into our ragdoll pose. So we're lifting the hips up, relaxing the head and the neck down, And then placing the hands back onto the mat, really spread the fingers and step yourself into a downward facing dog. So again, taking any movements in downward dog that you need. Checking the wrist creases are in line with the front of your mat. Slight bend in the elbows. Core is engaged. Hips are lifting as we draw the heels down to the mat. Gazing in between the feet or up to the belly button. And we're going to start to engage the core as we step our right foot forward into a low lunge. And we're going to inhale the hands up, joining them together in prayer. Bringing the left hip forward and down. Breathing. We're going to place our left arm onto our right thigh. We're going to engage the core and we're going to take a twist, bringing the right arm back, gazing towards our right fingertips. And then slowly coming back, we're going to place our hands to the inside of our right foot. We're going to shift the right foot to the edge of the mat. I'm going to start to draw the right foot down, drawing the knee down towards the right side. Maybe we're going to stay here, or we're going to come onto a block, onto our forearms, or maybe we're going to come all the way down onto the mat, relaxing our head and our neck. Breathing, being aware if there's any tension, and if we can, just trying to breathe into this space. And then coming back up onto your palms. I'm going to keep the left hand where it is. I'm going to take the right hand up and take a twist. Still drawing the knee towards the right side. And then right hand comes down, we're gazing forward. Maybe we're going to stay here if this is enough. Or we can take the left foot now off the mat. So we should be feeling a stretch in the left hip and also here in the right glutes. Being aware of any tension, again, and breathing into that space. So an area where we can really store and hold a lot of tension. So deep breaths through the nose. And slowly releasing that left leg and foot back down to the mat. Right foot flat on the mat as we shift the foot back to center. Right hand to the outside of the foot. And very gently coming into downward facing dog. Just taking a few steps there to stretch out the legs. Finding that alignment again in your downward facing dog. Awareness is back onto the core as we step our left foot forward. Drop the right knee and foot. Inhaling up, low lunge. Feeling that stretch now in the right hip. Breathing through the nose. And then right arm to the right thigh. And bring the left hand back behind you. Twisting from the core, we're going to gaze to the left fingertips. Breathing. And then coming back to center, hands to the inside of the left foot as we shift the left foot to the edge of the mat. Coming on to the knife edge of our left foot, drawing the knee down towards the left. Again, just directing the breath into the left glute and hips. Maybe staying here. Coming down onto your block. Or coming down onto the mat, relaxing the head and the neck. Breathing through the nose. And then slowly coming back up onto the palms. Keeping the right hand where it is, we're going to take the left hand up and take a twist, gazing up. And then left hand comes down, maybe staying here for a few more breaths, or taking that right leg off the mat, drawing the right hip down, drawing the left knee down towards the left side. And then dropping the right knee and foot. Left foot flat on the mat as we shift it back to center. And slowly make our way to downward facing dog. Taking a few steps again. So preparing now for pigeon pose, we're going to take our right knee behind our right wrist. If we know that we're fairly tight in our hips or we find this pose not massively pleasant, we're going to stay there. Or to come a little bit deeper into the stretch, we're going to start to bring the right foot behind the left wrist and square the shin off a little bit more to the front of the mat. The left leg is directly behind us and we're on the top of our foot. Hands out in front, making sure there's no pain here in our knee. We're going to come down to lie on the mat. Closing the eyes, we're going to start to direct the breath again into any areas that we find tension. And then coming back up onto the palms. If this feels like it's quite intense, we're going to stay here for a few more breaths. Otherwise, we're going to take the hands over the right knee. We're going to press into the hands as we draw the left hip back down to the mat. Being aware of our own body, being aware of where we're feeling a stretch. And again, breathing into any areas of tightness. Breathing through the nose. And then slowly coming back to center. Spreading the fingers and very gently coming into downward facing dog. Taking any movements that you need. And then preparing to come into pigeon on the left side. So Again, if you're tight in the hips, maybe bringing the knee behind the left wrist and staying there. To come deeper, we're going to square off the shin to the front of the mat by bringing the left foot behind the right wrist. Right leg is directly behind, trying to keep the hips in line, so not dipping at the hip. So you can take a block underneath the thigh if you need to. And then we're going to melt down onto the mat, bringing the awareness to the breath and any tension that you find. Noticing as well maybe if it's different on this side to the right side. So not judging anything that you find, but just having that awareness. And then slowly coming back up onto the palms, checking in with yourself here. If this is enough, we're going to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to take the hands over the left knee, pressing into the hands as we draw the right hip down. And slowly crawling back to center and very gently making our way into our last downward facing dog. So really lifting through the hips, drawing the heels down, but keeping that slight bend in our knees. Really pressing the mat away as we open the shoulders. I'm going to drop down onto our knees, keeping our knees wide, toes together, and sit back to a child's pose. So maybe extending the hands out in front, or if you prefer, you can have them relaxing by your sides. And then slowly we're going to bring ourselves up to a seated position. We're going to come into a very relaxed forward bend. So maybe, if we have one, we're just going to roll up the blanket and just place that underneath our legs. If we have a bolster or a cushion or anything like that. And we're just going to allow the belly to flop over towards the thighs. We're going to take the feet and just really relax that upper body down. Just relaxing the head and the neck, relaxing the shoulders, and just taking a few breaths. Slowly inhaling back up. Releasing the blanket or the bolster. We're going to bend the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the mat. We're going to sit back until we feel the core engage. We're going to place our hands by our hips, and we're going to take our right leg off the mat. So our knees are roughly in line with the toes pointing towards the face. Our heart is lifting, shoulders are relaxing. Breathing there. Maybe the hands are coming out in front. And then slowly bringing the right leg back down to the mat and take the left leg off. toes are flexed, hands maybe out in front. Breathing. And then release. Keeping that core engagement, we're going to come into a full boat. So first option, take the legs off the mat, maybe holding the legs. Just awareness on the core, making sure that we're not feeling anything in our lower back. We want this all into our core. Maybe we're going to take the hands off the mat and reach through the fingertips, lift the heart, and also maybe we're going to start to straighten the legs. So coming into whichever version you want. Knowing that I can't see if you're actually doing the boat pose or not. Breathing. And release. Drawing the knees in towards the chest and giving yourself a hug. We're going to shift ourselves to the front of the mat. And we're going to bring our awareness back to the core, that core engagement that we just had for our boat pose. We're going to bring our hands out in front, and with control, we're slowly going to lower ourselves down onto the mat, keeping the core engaged. We're going to draw the heels in towards our glutes, hands by our sides. We're coming into a back bend, so we're going to have that core engagement, that awareness on our core. And slowly and mindfully, starting from the base of the spine, we're going to peel the hips up off the mat, coming into a bridge pose, drawing the chest up towards our chin. Maybe we're going to stay here, or we want to interlock the hands behind our back, bringing the shoulders underneath, pressing into the little fingers. We're squeezing the legs together. Breathing. And then if the hands are interlocked, we're going to release the hands and place them back by our side. And then without just dropping down onto the mat, we're going to start at the top of the spine, and then very mindfully, slowly peeling back down all the way onto the mat. Really noticing the whole lower back grounding into the mat. And then taking the knees in towards the chest. Again, feeling the back on the mat. Feeling the tops of the shoulders grounding into the mat. Maybe gently rocking from side to side. Back to center. We're going to come into happy babies. We're going to take the feet up. We're going to take the hands to the outside of our feet, gently pushing down on the tops of our feet, drawing the knees towards our armpits. Again, the lower back is grounding into the mat. Maybe staying there, we're gently rocking from side to side. Breathing through the nose. And then drawing the knees back in towards the chest. Again, grounding that lower back and shoulders into the mat. From here, taking any final stretches or movements that you need. So once you've done the stretches that you need, we're going to maybe take our blanket, any pillows that you need, just to make yourself comfy on the mat. And we're going to come down to lie on our mat. If we haven't already, we're going to gently start to close the eyes. We're going to start to bring our awareness to the body. And just start to notice the body parts that are touching the mat. Just being mindful of that. And just allowing them to relax and sink down into the mat. Just letting go of any tension that you might be holding on to. And then just letting go of any thoughts or worries or to-do lists for the next few minutes, and just allow yourself these last few moments of relaxation. maybe wiggling the toes and fingers. And then giving yourself a big stretch, like you're waking up from a deep sleep. Taking a deep inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. And then drawing the knees in towards the chest. Feeling that grounding of the lower spine and the shoulders. Just bringing our awareness back to our intention of grounding. Just remembering the affirmation, I am grounded. And just gently rolling over onto one side and pressing into the palm to bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes still closed. And then just bringing your hands together in prayer at your forehead to remind us to have good, loving thoughts. And our lips to remind us to have good, loving words. And our heart center to remind us to have good, loving intentions. Namaste.